So this is a quick shoot I wanted to show you. When I started this shoot, it's already been done, but when I started this shoot, I noticed all the mistakes that I was making. And I thought, you know what, instead of showing all these beautiful pictures, why not show you all the mistakes? So hopefully you can learn from the mistakes that I made on this shoot. Now, this is a good region to shoot tethered. Now, I have a giant screen on the back of my camera, so I saw what I was doing. And rather than fixing, I took it down slowly so you can see the difference. And at the end, you'll see a couple of pictures with it corrected. But the mistakes that you make with lighting, it's always overlighting versus underlighting that people make mistakes with. So let's take a look at the shoot. You'll see what I did wrong. And during the shoot and during my edits, I was just like, no, I'm not going to fix this. I want to, everything on YouTube everything is always perfect, but it's not always perfect. So let's take a look at the mistakes and learn how to fix them. Anyway, here's the shoot. I hope you enjoy. If you have any questions, leave them below as always. Well, it's been a while since I did a full lighting setup for one of these YouTube videos, so I figured I'd throw one in. I'm using the Godox 1000 watt units, one to the right, one behind me for a fill, and I'm using the AD300 to the right behind and an AD100 to the left behind. So yeah, 4 lights. And it is too much on this very first shot. You can see the hair on the right side there. It's too hot. And I wanted just a little bit more of a shadow, so I'm taking this main light up and tilting it down a little bit, just to create more of a shadow. Even with that backlight, that 1000 watt unit behind me turned down, all the way down, I was just getting a little too much, and I'm still like too hot on that right side. These are the things you have to like look for. And I don't want to hide this stuff. I want to show it to you, so you don't make the same mistakes I do. Now the backlight here, that's the AD100, so I'm just going to use one hair light on the right side, and I took that left hair light out to use it as a backlight to highlight that backdrop. Now this is pink. It's not coming out in the video as pink. It's coming out as like a orangey red, really gross color, but it's a nice pink. And this is that Westcott X-Drop system. That's one of the 5x7s, I think it is, or 5x8s. I'm not sure the exact size, but they stretch out really nicely, and they do have a nice color. And with the backlight, it was even nicer, and it matched her top pretty good. So, and there, again, I'm showing you like literally every mistake I made through this shoot. It was too shadowy underneath her chin and underneath her nose. I'm sorry I didn't keep it on long enough for you to notice that, but you can pause it. So. No matter how long you've been doing this, you're going to make mistakes, and the only way to correct them is to see them. After your shoot, during your shoot, obviously, if you shoot tethered and so forth, I did correct these issues. But that's not the point of this. I really wanted to show you, like, you're going to screw up. That's all there is to it. So now I took the backlight down. The fill light, and I'm using it on the lower part of the dress. So I have an upper part and a lower part. Yes, you can use one umbrella for this, but if I want to control the light with grids, I had to do it this way, because that would be a huge softbox. This is going to allow me to control the light on that one side of her. I have the 2 backlights, and this time I'm going to control a little bit more the backlights so they're not too hot on her. And I want a darker look. I want more of a smoldering look because of the dress. And this is just a gray backdrop because of that, the distance she is and the distance of the main light. It's going to go dark to black. It's an easy thing to do if you just practice it and, take a picture and look. You know what I mean? You don't have to use light meters and so forth. Again, left and right of the side of the head, hair light's too bright. And like when people say build up your lights, that's a really, really good idea to do. Do one at a time and build it up to see what it looks like. Because, as nice as a hair light is, it'll look like a cutout if it's done incorrectly. It has to be subtle. Now, the right side is much, much better. Left side is still a little too hot to me. Yes, I could have taken this down in Photoshop. I didn't want to. I'm going to show you my mistakes. You need to see this stuff because it's the only way you're going to get better. I believe me, when I started doing this, I wasn't purposely doing this. But then when I did do this and saw it, I'm like, yeah, everybody needs to see this. They need to see the mistakes that people make so you can correct them before they happen. And believe me, as much as you work on it in post without like making it look fake, taking that highlights out of the hair like that from either side when they're too hot is near impossible to make it look good or make it look correct. This is one thing I do with every model because they want their hair perfect. And you saw so many of my videos where the models are touching their hair every 3 seconds. So I make them mess up their hair and then I can show them a shot going, this is what it's going to look like if you just let it alone. Let it be messy once in a while. It's like a night and day difference. It gave her volume. It looks like it's kind of windblown, but it's not. This works every single time. And then I make them mess it up even more for a totally different look. Now we have 3 different looks in this without even a hairstylist, and they're nice looks. I mean, one's straight, one's, windblown, one's messy. It's just, and they all look good. Anyway, this was a quick one. I didn't want to go into too much detail, and I am going to do a post-processing one, I promise. But for this, I just wanted to show you the mistakes, the issues that you could have. This is the correct hair lighting in the back. It's just subtle. It's just a hint of hair light versus that blown out, oh shit, what am I going to do now kind of a hair light. So, make sure when you're doing this, you tone stuff back. I always said, even when you're outdoors, tone the lighting back.